Hey beautiful people, my name's Damien Horton, and today I'm going to share with you a quick tip about how to maintain a balanced state of mind when the going gets tough. This was explained to me a long time ago by my mentor, and what he showed me is that we live in two states of being. A reactionary state, which is our survival mechanisms, and homeostasis, if you will. And this is how he drew it for me. So this is our survival, and this is the true self. And all of us are always fluctuating between, this expression of who we are, where we're authentic, we're being real and congruent, and this reactionary state. And being able to differentiate between the two is how you master yourself. It's how you know when you're being authentic, whether your thinking and your choices, your actions are in line with and congruent with what you really want, or if it's a reactionary state. And we're either trying to get or give love in every interaction that we have. And when we move into this survival state, we just try and get or give that love in a distorted way. This is where we will blame, and we will play the victim, and we want to punish other people. So all of this here is obviously a disempowering state. It's limiting. This is all limited behavior. And this is where we go unconscious. What drives us down into this state here is we lose the present moment. You lose awareness, this now. And there's always a predictable emotion. There's always a suppression, which we cover with fear. And as we block and suppress our emotion, we go down here and we start acting out one, two, or all of these survival behaviors. But when we're being authentic, this is when we are conscious and the true self is expressed through the courage to be vulnerable, and express the human spirit, to express love. That's it, just to be loving. It takes a huge amount of courage. It does. To make yourself vulnerable, to be you, to be who you really are, and shine that light and that love, that compassion, that caring and that nurture for other people. In this state, you acknowledge that their unconscious behavior, their survival behavior down here, is just a reflection of your own. That we all move in and out of this. Even the monk on the top of a mountain. My mentor John was a Kundalini master and had been teaching and practicing this stuff for decades and decades. And he said, even to this day, a trigger, something in your external environment. He used an example once of pea-platers tailgating him and all this stuff, and he just, his blood boiled in that moment. His resistance to what is drives you down. And he said, I wanted to rip their bloody heads off. But through awareness, and the more you practice this can just be a few seconds, just an acknowledgement of the thought, the program that goes, oh, those bloody, but you don't act on it, you don't become it, you don't go in to this spiral of blaming and punishing. And so when we're congruent and we're conscious, we respond. We actually respond. This is empowerment 101. You're fully empowered in this place. In society, it's backwards because we think that it's weakness. The vulnerability is apparently weakness, especially with guys. It's like you've got to be the macho, distorted masculine stuff. But that's weakness. That's inferiority that's being masked as strength. It's not strength at all. This is easy. It's very, very easy to move into this unconscious state and react. So easy. But when you are actually able to maintain composure and be a beacon of love, when everyone else is showing hate or violence and you just come in with compassion and love, that's strength. That's how we change the world. This cycle here is the collective karmic wheel of humanity. This is where the violence and rape and wars of aggression and unconscious behavior just goes round and round as we all react to each other's unconscious pain. Every time you react, you're now getting trapped in that karmic wheel. And you break this cycle, this addictive cycle, because we get addicted to the actual chemistry, to these hormones that get released, and it goes back up into energy, up into creative energy, because that's what inspiration is. Inspiration is movement of energy, and you feel inspired and you want to create and you want to help, you want to do something in the world. But for most of us, all of our creative energy is trapped in this cycle that we just go round and round and round in, and we make an identity out of it. That's the hardest thing. We actually believe that this is real, and that by reacting we get some sort of power, but you don't. It's a fallacy. We believe we get some control through our reaction and judgment and blame, or but nothing can be further from the truth. We're actually completely out of control, because this is an unconscious program. This is a hindbrain reaction. Up here, we're objective and free thinking and dynamic. And this is where you go out and you change the world. You're a beacon of light and love, as I said earlier. This here lowers the frequency in our body over time. We become, as I said, more connected to these states, more bound by this. It's someone else's fault. It's someone else's fault. I've got to get retribution. I've got to punish. I'm angry. I've got to be, get something back on someone. But it's a zero-sum game, all of this. And this leads to depression and addiction and self-worth issues when it's left unchecked. So the key to breaking this is through non-resistance. So acceptance, complete acceptance means if there's an emotion in the body and you need to feel, you've got to grieve, or you need to just feel sad, just let yourself feel. And I'm speaking to a lot of the guys out there as well. We're terrible at this stuff. Luckily, I was raised by my mum, and she was very nurturing and heartfelt. So that was okay. That was allowed in my house. But if you allow yourself to feel and stop resisting what is, your energy, emotion means energy in motion. It originates from Old French. And when you suppress and you block, it gets trapped. The natural flow of life force energy around your body gets blocked, it gets trapped. So it's through non-resistance. It doesn't mean you lay down, roll over, and do nothing. It means fully accept the now, fully accept the present moment and the particulars, the situation as it is. And then you can express the fundamental human emotion, the primary emotion, which is assertiveness. And assertiveness comes from this top triangle. And that's where you're powerful. That's Martin Luther King, I have a dream. There's no anger in that speech. If you go back and watch that speech, he's completely within his center and sharing a message of his truth. So it's about becoming aware of this, okay? Being able to watch our reaction, step outside it and catch yourself out when you start doing this. You're trying to get love. Or that's it. We're either trying to get or give love in every interaction. And then as you find yourself in this state, you catch yourself out. And all you need to do is just become fully present. The charge is in the body, breathe into it. Just come into it without suppressing it. You don't need to suppress it. And tears, being able to cry, is one of the most healthy things that you can possibly do. And a lot of people with depression and addiction, they just let themselves cry. I'm speaking about myself here. And that survival behavior, it just disappears. And you find the heart beating underneath. You find the human spirit. So that's today's video, guys. If you can hit that like button, comment, let me know what you want me to make videos about. And subscribe to the channel. And from my heart to yours, as always, sending you light, sending you love. Peace.